Hey guys, Rexasaur here, and welcome to another episode of Total War Warhammer Lore, where in this episode we will be talking about Warlord Snarsnik, who I believe will be the next legendary lord announced for the Orcs and Goblins alongside Grimoire Ironhide. I will go into the details of why I think this, but first I would like to teach you a little bit about who he is and why he's so important when it comes to Night Goblins. So, Warlord Snarsnik is currently the King of Karak 8 Peaks, also called the King in the Mountain. In his early life he was called Runt, and was raised to be a slave master, or a runt boy. He was exiled after being found out to deal with the Skavens by his tribal war chief, and he actually came back to the area around Karak 8 Peaks to invade the area and subjugate the Crooked Moons at the time, with a tribe of forest goblins who he had befriended. From there he became the chieftain of the Crooked Moon tribe, and arguably the most powerful night goblin in existence so far. All the other orcs and goblins acknowledge his ownership of Karak 8 Peaks to this day. So why is Snarsnik so feared and became so powerful so quickly? Well, one of these things is his intellect. He is ruthless and cunning, as well as a great fighter, but his intellect is beyond his kin, and he's an expert strategist, almost as cunning as the Skaven. The only other character in the Greenskins who even has as much impact when it comes to strategy is Azhag the Slaughterer, who is an orc war boss, who we discuss in a moment. Snarsnik is known mostly for these strategy in such things such as the Battle of the Jaws, which is named after the formation which his Night Goblins used to destroy half of a dwarf army at a pass called Mad Dog Pass during a very thought out ambush. The other half is currently stuck inside Karak 8 Peaks, unable to leave without being either ambushed, killed, or scalped, which is fun. Along with his intellect and a powerful magic staff, Snarsnik has a trusty companion called Gobbler, who is a giant cave squig, and who Snarsnik had saved as a squigling, and thus become ultimately loyal to the Warlord. Gobbler in the tabletop has a special ability where you can eat up a character instantly, which I'm pretty sure in the actual game will be incredible. So what do I think his character as a legendary lord will be like in battle in Total War Warhammer, should he be there as a legendary lord? Well, as I just said, Gobbler is incredibly powerful. It will be able to basically one-shot certain enemies on a lucky roll, maybe, or do incredible damage to other legendary lords. Say Snarsnik was under attack from a dwarf Thane, for example, Gobbler would have a chance to come out and just eat up the Thane straight away. That is an incredibly powerful and maybe over the top thing to think, but it happens in the tabletop and it's incredibly rare, but it's incredibly funny when you have like a Thane that's just been there really powerful and just gets eaten up on the dice roll of a 6. What else do I think there'd be? Well, Snarsnik has a very powerful staff, as I mentioned. Snarsnik is actually part shaman. I don't think he's an actual shaman, but he does have a powerful magic staff, which he has, and that means that he's going to have some sort of spells which he can do, maybe a magic missile of some sort to launch at his enemies. So why do I think that Snarsnik will be a legendary lord? Well, when I was on Reddit, I saw a comment which was, people think that it's going to be Azhag the Slaughterer, who we mentioned as being the other strategically minded greenskin. Azhag the Slaughterer, in the stage in which Total War Warhammer is set, at least where I think it's going to be set, with Grimoire Ironhide being the one, leading the Orc army, we know it's going to be him. Azhag's dead, so it's very improbable that it's going to be him who's a legendary lord. If Chaos is coming down from the wastes and things like that, and I think the era in general is just before end times, I think Azhag is dead at this point, so he's not going to be the legendary lord, which leaves only Snarsnik really to be the current legendary lord that can be alongside Grimoire Ironhide. Also, Snarsnik is amazing. It would mean that you can have a goblin playthrough if you don't want to just do ultimate like greenskins in general. If you want to play a goblin horde, which are still relatively powerful, especially on the magic side of things, then it'll be possible. And I also think Snarsnik is a great character in general with his strategy and stuff like that. Maybe he'll get some kind of legendary lord traits and things to add to this. Why else do I think Snarsnik will make a good legendary lord? Well, all the legendary lords have a personal like quest line, as CA have mentioned, and I think that Snarsnik's one will be his rise to power as King of Karak 8 Peaks, which I think would be incredibly interesting, seeing him rise up the ranks after being exiled from Karak 8 Peaks from the Crooked Moon after dealing with a Skaven, befriending the forest goblins and coming back, defeating all the dwarves and becoming king of the 8 Peaks. So there we go, that's what I think about Snarsnik and why I think he will be a legendary lord. Also gives you a little bit of background. If you want to know more, then wikis are always very good. Once again, I would like to give a little disclaimer that I have no idea if this is any, true. These are all my opinions. I am not affiliated with CA in any way. I'm just taking what I think from the lore and what I think personally from the gameplay I've seen and what makes sense in my opinion, and I hope that you can see this by how I'm explaining myself. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like if you like this video, share it along with your friends, and I will see you next time.